everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the...
First opened way back in 1924, but renovated in 2002. There's a look inside venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. Today we've got a Week 8 matchup on tap here between the Indianapolis Colts, and he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line, and the Chicago Bears. Now a carry for the former Michigan State man, Le'Veon Bell. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed. But they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Trubisky. And he'll be brought down by the Colts. Jelani Jenkins in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that'll lead to a 4th down.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye. That happened fast, and a big sack. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. 2nd down following the run. As they run the counter play. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 3rd and 10.
While we know that the identity of this offense is to throw the ball, they've got to run it every so often, and for no other reason than to tamp down the pass.
He's got a convoy, and he might be gone. And he takes this thing down deep into Chicago territory. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
The best passing attacks in the NFL often incorporate the guys out of the backfield catching the football. And that's what we just got on that play. As a primary receiver, not always just a check down.
And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. Tajay Sharp, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Colts are going to take a first-quarter lead.
The losing streak had taken on a life of its own, and I think it infiltrates a team when you're on that much of a slide. But this group has managed to focus, come out early, and put a touchdown on the board. They look like they mean business in this one.
They do. Now the key, holding on to that attitude, because, man, that streak has been a struggle for them. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Looking to throw, Trubisky on 1st down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete. Unable to connect on the 1st down pass play. Now it's 2nd down. From the gun, it's Trubisky. Griffin's got it, middle of the field. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch. Now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up 1st downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line. Very tough spot here for the offense to start. They run the counter now on 1st first down. And he's going to lose yardage back to his own 1-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
They've got to do a better job up front and create some space because they're right there, almost literally on their own goal line.
Just a couple of feet away from a safety. That could have been disastrous. Just a yard there, so it brings up a tough 3rd and 12. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 5-yard line. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
As they take over following the punt. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And this is their 3rd drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a first down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a first down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain.
Touchdown, Chicago! Tyreek Hill, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Bears are an extra point away from tying the football game. And nothing too crazy there. A quick slant, and then he just had a seam. He found a seam.
And when you hit it on the run like that, and I mean the pass right to the receiver who's already in motion and moving, sometimes he just takes it and runs away from everyone else.
And he ran it into the end zone. And the defense, they've got to adjust there quickly. That's tough on them.
That's really tough because everything was executed well. Ball was out of his hands quickly into the hands of the receiver.
Play action. It's locked. Man open left side is Brown. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. Now the Bears electing to call a timeout defensively. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Fresh set of downs here. They'll fake the handoff. Now Luck. He's going to slip, trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 33. And he'll take it across midfield and down to the 48-yard line.
And Brandon, the passing game for both of these teams is going to be affected as the game goes along. It's not looking like the rain's going to let up anytime soon. So that might mean a few more wobbly passes and wide receiver slips. And this one winds up getting intercepted.
After the interception, here's Trubisky. This one complete to Curtis Samuel. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the #3 man of the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
Curtis Samuel, the one he was looking for. And now it's third down.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. But not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
So a good kick there, and they wrap up the drive by putting 3 on the board.
And you know, let's face it, you're not always going to come away with 6. Defense in the NFL are just too good. But you've got to come away with something. And there, they get 3.
And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And he'll give it here to his running back. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. Calling a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on second down.
And he'll get this only up to about the 35. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a third down.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Luck now to throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. Indianapolis moving the chains there on a gain of 12. Luck on first down. And he will find his man on the outside. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Coming up at halftime, remember, we'll get you out to Larry Ridley in Orlando for highlights and analysis of this first half. That is, of course, unless you decide to skip him.
And for the record, we do not encourage that.
It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. First down now, but the clock continues to move. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. On first down, it's Luck. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and it'll make it second down. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with.
And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. Khalil Mack. Tough to handle on that blitz. He gets him for a loss of 5. Throwing on third down. Luck. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Leonard Floyd. He's the one to get him this time, and back-to-back sacks are going to bring up a 4th down.
Okay, was it a breakdown in protection? Did the running back not pick him up? What does it really matter? Sometimes it's just a great play made by the defense. Big-time sack.
An update from that game going on in the Meadowlands. The Jets out to the early lead. And we'll keep you abreast of how that one shakes out. On 1st and 10, it's Trubisky. And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it. And it took the ball off course.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot.
Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. The 30. 10. Touchdown, Chicago. Tyreek Hill, 87 yards. And the Bears are able to show off their quick strike ability. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Here comes the Colts offense now as they make their way onto the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure... aggressively, offensively, they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
And this this will go as a short gain on what will be the final act of this first half. Well, why don't we hold off on the halftime update after all? Seems like everyone's ready to go here for the second half in Week 8 in the NFL. This is fielded a couple yards deep. Out come the Colts. They'll have it first here to start quarter number 3. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there.
But this is do that?
I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive, and we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? Yeah, the movement there coming from the middle of the line.
And you understand he wants to get off the ball quickly, but the ball's right in front of him. He has to watch it move first.
Now we've got whistles and a flag. Looked like one of the Colts linemen might have jumped.
False start, offense.
So that'll back him up 5. So the penalty by the offense, and now they face a 1st and 15. And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. Give him a couple on the run there. It'll be 2nd and 13.
Well, obviously they would have at least liked to have gotten back to the original line of scrimmage. Instead now, they're dealing with 2nd and long.
I thought they would have passed it after the penalty. Probably wish they would have now. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. It'll be a gain of 11, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1.
Look, the first down marker is out there, but sometimes it's hard to find for an offense when they're in a long yardage situation, which usually means throw the football. In this case, they went against the tendency and ran it, and boy, the reward was there. A big, big pickup, and guess what? It's now 3rd and very short in order to try and pick up a first down.
They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. And now the Bears going to signal for another timeout. And that's going to leave them with just 1 timeout remaining still in the 3rd quarter. We'll see if that comes back to haunt them. We'll be back. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
They'll wind up with 17 on that one, but they're still a bit short here for 4th.
Brandon, more and more offenses are going to the philosophy of using every inch of the field to try and spread things out. And when your running back can catch the ball as well, that can only help your offense.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
A little antsy on the left side of the line.
Yeah, I think they got the guy in the end. I think they got the DN there on that one. And let's face it, he is so amped up. Wanting to get a good get-off on the snap, jump too quickly.
And he'll give it here to his running back. Try to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. And no more. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
But it was stopped on that play. He's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
Fights through, and now a crease. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So retract the yardage and retract the touchdown.
And retract the chunk play. Big strike there to get the touchdown. Now they've got to take it back and see if they've got another one still in their arsenal.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And he'll get it down inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Here's Love. And a quick throw here. That's complete. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. So, boy, that's already the 3rd they've burned here. They are out of timeouts now before we've even hit the 4th quarter. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he gets the first down yardage before he's brought down just outside the 10 at the 11th. And 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. It's the Colt, and this seemingly endless drive continues. Luck going to try to run the option left. And maybe the wrong read there as he's going to go down immediately. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down. The Colts on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is going to be 3rd and 13. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's brought down. A nice little juke move that preceded it, but not much thereafter. It's a gain of 5, but it'll lead to a 4th down.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
All right, so you needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal then maybe not exactly what they wanted, but it's a necessary first step.
Still plenty of time remaining, but you could really use a stop defensively after the kickoff, preferably a 3 and out.
And tough starting field position here. Now a play fake here on first down. Flushed out right. And he's out of bounds right at the 25. A nice gain of 21 yards. Well, there's your leading receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage, putting on another clinic, well over 100 yards.
Are we taking notes? We should be, right? Because I'm going to go back and watch this tape and really enjoy what I'm seeing. The route running, competing for the football, just breaking down a defense.
And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 5 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swing, slant.
And got his man complete. And he'll be knocked down sideways. Give him 30 yards there. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. A give to Bell. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Let's see what the offense comes with here. 2nd and 8. Now Trubisky. And his throw here is incomplete. He was trying to get it to Tyreek Hill that time. 3rd down here. Well, too much oomph, too much mustard there on that pass.
They really turned it loose, didn't they? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
Shaheen, the tight end on the right side. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. And he missed it. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is.
I tell you, it's not easy kicking field goals in the best of conditions. Yet in a downpour like we're in right now, it makes it that much harder. And sure enough, they can't convert here.
Now Love. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And it's a fumble. So it goes as a fumble. But the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
So they got him coming up from his linebacker spot.
And sometimes the position designation really doesn't matter. If you creep up to the line of scrimmage, you just have to look for the football. Make sure it moves before you do.
Out of the gun, Luck. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
That would have been a great catch, but it was real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
On second down, here's Luck. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he's going to be out of bounds down inside the 20. A good pickup there at 22.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Time for a break. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. They come up on a 2nd down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down to the wire. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
Option right, it's Luck. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Only a yard there on the keeper, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd down. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. They'll look to throw. And probably the wise decision there. No one open. He just throws it away. And that keeps the field goal on the table as it's 4th down. Figuring they're going for it on 4th down. Remember, though, they do have all 3 timeouts, so even if they don't get it, all is not lost.
Yeah, normally in this situation, when you're talking about having to go for it, everything is in this play. But as you noted, with those 3 timeouts, they actually have a little bit of a safety net.
They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Bears will get the football back. And defensively, they were ready for that, a full-on blitz on 4th down, and they stop him short of the marker.
Oh, and someone's got to feel really good about that, and that's the defensive coordinator.
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off at the 20, and they will set up shop with outstanding field position in the red zone at the 17-yard line. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
They'll get 4 there out of the screen, and it's 2nd down. Now Luck says, let's get going as he'll hustle him to the line. Back to throw. That's complete right around the 8. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now 1st and goal. He's back to throw. And yes, he's into the end zone. So they get the late score they needed. And now the extra point can tie this thing up in the final minute. So getting the big touchdown they needed late in the 4th. Now what do? You conservative and just tie it up?
No, I think you put your practice into game situation. Go as fast as possible. You already have your play call ready to go. Go for 2 and decide it right now.
On the NFL scoreboard there in the 4th quarter in Philadelphia. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. And you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. Carson Wentz, a single touchdown pass to this point in that one. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. breaks through the contact. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Colts TD. I get and appreciate that they wanted to go for the win, not play for overtime, but that's the cost right there.
Not so sure their fans feel the same way as you when they just watch that ball get picked and taken the other way, and now they're down 6. Looks like it's going to be a loss for them. An absolute catastrophe when they tried to be aggressive.
So 5 yards for running into. Lucky it wasn't 15 for roughing.
No doubt about it, because they protect the kickers and the guys holding the ball almost as much as they protect quarterbacks in the pocket. They don't want those types of injuries.
And this offense led by Mitchell Trubisky going to make their way back out there. And the passing game, I mean, look at the numbers. It's fallen off. When a team is struggling, sometimes you look at the quarterback. When the quarterback starts to struggle, who goes over and picks him up?
Yeah, that's always a big one, isn't it? Usually there's a quarterback whisperer somewhere. And what I mean by that is, whether it's an assistant coach, whether it's one of his best friends on the team, someone that can get in his ear, get with him and say, all right, my man, what do you need? What's going on here? So there's one person he can lean on. He's going to have to lean on that guy right now.
And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off at the 47. And they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line.
Well, there definitely was some juice on that pass. And while tight ends don't always have the same reputation for hands as wide receivers do, in this case, that ball was expected to be caught.
Kick off your week by installing your game plan. Get ahead on your preparations for this week's game by setting up your game plan.